So to maximize all your results, you want to maximize your testosterone, you want to maximize your metabolism, you want to maximize your recovery. Hey, what's up, man? Gary Walker here, and welcome back for another video. All right, in this video, this is all about you guys 40, 50, 60, 70, and beyond, man, all right? I'm going to tell you how to eat healthy after you turn 40, and should you make changes simply because you are 40. All right, here's the thing. When it comes to nutrition, yes, there are some changes that you need to be focused on making. All right, specifically, a lot of that has to do around the protein requirements and the carbohydrate requirements. All right, so with that said, here's the one thing I want you to realize. A lot of this has to do whether you're extremely active or even if you're really sedentary. If you're sedentary, you're not gonna need near as many calories, which is what's considered energy. And the way I like to structure my nutrition plans and all those things is based on whether you like to eat more carbohydrates or whether you like to eat more fats. Because either one of those are really good energy sources, all right? But the one thing you wanna make sure you avoid doing at all costs is eliminating an entire macronutrient group. Meaning, if you like eating more fats, that doesn't mean you need to eliminate all the carbohydrates, which is a popular thing right now, all right? That's extremely popular to demonize carbohydrates as if all carbs are bad. Here's the thing when it comes to carbohydrates. Yeah, there's a lot of simple sugars, simple carbs, the sugary drinks, things like that. Sugars are simple carbs, but then you're getting into some complex varieties like rice, potatoes, quinoa, legumes. All those are really gonna be good carbohydrates for you. So you do wanna make sure you're eating some carbs, all right? On the other hand, if you enjoy the carbs and you're not a big fat eater, that doesn't mean you need to neglect all your fats, because here's the thing when it comes to fats. Fats are crucial for testosterone production. And if you didn't know this, now that you're older, you're naturally gonna be dealing with lower testosterone levels, all right? Once you get into your 30s, they start declining naturally each decade. All right, so the key to fats though is choosing healthier fats. You don't want the trans fats. You don't want all the fried foods. You wanna make sure you're doing more of the extra virgin olive oil, avocado oil, some coconut oil is good, and some nuts, mixed nuts, almonds, macadamia nuts, cashews, Brazil nuts. All those are gonna be good sources. Olives, another good source. And then also your fats from your egg yolks. Egg yolks are a really good, healthy fat source. And then the fats in your lean cuts of beef. So you do want to make sure you're eating enough quality fats. But here's the thing when it comes to fats, it's easy to overeat fats, because here's the way the macronutrients are set up when it comes to calories. When you eat protein, when you eat carbohydrates, there are 4 calories per gram of those macronutrients, all right? And when you eat fat, there are actually 9 calories per gram of fat. So you can see how it's very easy to overeat fat. So even if you enjoy eating fats more than carbs, you still want to make sure you are eating fats in moderation. Typically 50 to 80 grams of fats is what I recommend. And again, it depends on how many carbs you're eating. Also depends on your total daily calorie intake. And all that is dependent upon your goals. Is your goal to lose more weight? Is your goal to build more muscle? Or is your goal to just maintain a healthy weight but recomposition your body, meaning lose a little bit of body fat while simultaneously building some muscle? So all of those are key when you're structuring your meal plans, all right? So at the end of the day, the main thing I want you to focus on is making sure you're getting some lean protein, some complex carbs, and some good healthy fats with each meal. Now, the best way to structure a plan, if you're somebody like me who doesn't really like measuring foods and weighing foods and doing all of those things, is following a complex carb cycling program. So what is carb cycling, specifically complex carbs? All right, so again, let me break down carbs this way. Complex carbs, rice, potatoes, beans, quinoa, fruits, multigrain breads, all of those we're going to consider a complex carb over here. Those types of carbohydrates should only be eaten on the days you're earning those. Meaning, if you're following a resistance training program, if you're watching my videos, you know I recommend making sure you do some type of resistance training. 3-4 days a week, either one of those are going to be sufficient. On those days, you want to make sure you're supplying your body with complex carbohydrates. That's just going to help energize your workouts. It's going to help with recovery. It's going to help optimize your hormones. There's a lot of benefits to doing that, all right? But on the days you're taking off from weight training, if you're not weight training at all, and I'm not talking about doing some type of cardio. If you're doing cardio, you're still not doing weight training, all right? So when I talk about cycling carbs, I'm talking about resistance training or weight training days and non-weight training days. So the days you're not going to be using weights, the days you're not weight training, all your carbohydrates should come from veggies, fibrous veggies. So we're talking broccoli, asparagus, cauliflower, green leafy veggies, cucumber, zucchini. That's where those vegetables should come from. That's where those carbohydrates should come from, and not the complex variety we just mentioned earlier. All right, so that's how simple that is, all right? Because when it comes to lean protein, you want lean protein 7 days a week. 7 days a week with all of your meals, you want lean protein. All right, and typically I recommend getting about 30 grams of lean protein with each meal. That's pretty simple. If you don't know what that is, I'm gonna suggest weighing it out, portioning that out initially for a week or two just to get an idea of how much those portions are, and then you can start eyeballing it from there because it's really hard to overeat lean protein. I'm not talking about fatty cuts of steak or anything like that. We're talking lean chicken breasts, good lean fish, those types of things. Turkey, various poultry is going to be very lean. So if you're doing all of that, you can just eyeball it and you're going to be okay. All right, especially when you're carb cycling, because you're going to be eating at a natural calorie deficit. Because here's the thing, on the days you're not working out, your calories for that complete day are going to be totally lower because you're eliminating the complex carbs. All right, you're still getting your lean protein like I just recommended. I'm still going to recommend 30 grams of protein per meal. And what you want to do with your fat on those days is about 20 grams of fats with about 4 meals. So it could be 3 meals and 20 grams of fats in a snack like mixed nuts or something like that. So about 80 grams of fats on those days to offset the lower calories from removing those complex carbohydrates. So that's fairly simple. All right, on the days you are working out, let me touch on the fats with those days as well, because you are getting some complex carbohydrates, and that can be anywhere from 50 grams per meal up to 80 grams per meal. Again, it just depends on how much fat you have to lose, what your actual goals are. But with that being said, since you're getting more complex carbs, you're increasing your calories, you don't really want to bump up the fat to the 80 grams. So typically I recommend about 40 to 60 grams of fats on that day, all right? That can be broken up over 3 meals, 4 meals, or 3 meals and a snack, which is typically what I recommend. I usually structure all my clients' programs with 3 meals and then a snack. That snack really just comes down to making sure you're maximizing your protein. All right, so that's typically what I do with that snack, but that's typically all you have to do. And that's the main difference. When you're younger, your body can assimilate a whole lot more carbohydrates. You're a lot more active typically, so you need more. Your metabolism is revving at a faster pace when you're younger, so you need more total calories. But as you get older, then you just want to prioritize the macronutrients. And the calories naturally come down because your basal metabolic rate, or the amount of calories you burn at rest, is naturally going to decrease. It's just going to be lower, just due to most older men being a little more sedentary than they used to be. Hormones aren't optimized like they were when you were younger. So to maximize all your results, you want to maximize your testosterone, you want to maximize your metabolism, you want to maximize your recovery. So that's why you want to make sure you're getting your proteins, fats, and carbs, and not only proteins and fats, or not only proteins and carbs. You want to make sure you're getting all 3 macronutrients. Also, make sure you're getting your micronutrients, so your vitamins and minerals. All right, so by adding a lot of variety to your meals and making sure you're eating all your vegetables. If you're not a big veggie guy, I happen to be somebody that doesn't like a lot of veggies, then you can do like our Testo greens or something like that, all right? Testo greens, you're getting your vitamins and minerals through your supplements. So you're getting your fruits and veggies in a drink. All right, pretty simple solution. But if you like veggies, then load up on the veggies. Make sure you're eating veggies with every one of your meals to maximize your vitamins and minerals. All right, so that's basically it. All right, if you're doing that with your nutrition, if you're carb cycling, if you're focused on getting your 30 grams of protein with each meal, you're focused on getting your complex carbs on the days you work out and eliminating the complex carbs on the days you're taking off from working out, then you're gonna be in that natural calorie deficit, which is gonna help you burn more body fat. And if you're getting those 30 grams of protein, you're gonna be maximizing your muscle growth as well through your nutrition, all right? Obviously, this is a video only about nutrition because you still wanna make sure you're optimizing your sleep. 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep each night, hitting 3 to 4 days of resistance training each week. Also, making sure those days revolve around compound movements, squats, bench presses, overhead presses, back rows, maybe some deadlifts, something like that. All right, with that said, hopefully this all makes sense to you. Hopefully this helps you out. Other than that, that's all that I got, man. Get busy, get after it, and God bless.